Hey guys, so today we're going to be talking about PlayStation and their most recent job posting that's hinting at the future with Sony. Let's go ahead and get right into it, guys. So I'm reading on notebookcheck.net. The author is Raheem Nurali. And let's go ahead and read what he has to say. So, Sony Interactive Entertainment is making a bold move, stepping away from console exclusivity. A recent job listing for a senior director of multi-platform and account management was posted on Sony's official website, with the role requiring shaping and executing the global commercial strategy for PlayStation Studios software titles across all digital platforms beyond PlayStation hardware, including Steam, Epic Games Store, Xbox, Nintendo, and mobile. Why I personally think it's crazy is because Sony and the console wars. I fortunately have been able to genuinely own about every little bit of everything. So I can't relate. I really can't. But I can say Xbox, I do like Xbox. I really do. Now I can't lie. Like, I've been able to experience all of the consoles throughout all of my lifetime. However, Xbox is one of the consoles that I clung to, and one of the brands that I clung to. PlayStation coming out and saying this after so many people were crapping on Game Pass for the last couple of years, it's actually hilarious. Like, to see them porting just directly, hey, we're going to port our games. You know what I'm saying? We're just going to port them directly. They originally used to make Steam wait, like a couple of months to years for certain titles to be ported over. And now it's seemingly that time frame has either been drastically shortened or completely snapped out of the equation, which is just crazy, especially to the fact that they're also planning to port their games directly to Xbox storefronts, Nintendo storefronts, and of course we know that that's going to open up the market for Sony. However, I do think this is going to revolutionize the quote unquote console wars. I mean, at this point, it's not going to be about choosing exclusive titles. It's genuinely going to be who is bringing the best product. What console within this generation is going to give me the best power, bring the best longevity to survive this new generation of consoles until I'm most likely going to upgrade and or possibly skip a generation if done right. Am I going to be able to enjoy all games and not be kind of missing out just because my brand of choice has decided that I don't get to play other people's creations? And I think that is what's really going to open up the market, is because consumers are now going to start actually buying for what's behind the console and what really is powering this thing, and the longevity. Again, that's a major thing. Future proofing is something that PC gamers do constantly. They're not just purchasing something just to survive. They're purchasing something that's hopefully going to future proof them, so when the future does arrive, they aren't just hands in the air. And I think that that's been a big issue with the just the more casual consumer for gamers. Like, you've all chosen these brands, and these brands only respect your pockets and or your parents' pockets. So they're going to make what makes quite literal sense to them. They don't care about what matters to you all. And that's why I do think that Xbox and Game Pass, they have been changing the game. Granted, people make gambles all the time. I understand, from a developer standpoint, that Game Pass may not always be the best avenue. However, developers being able to, take that gamble and possibly make a great profit, and or possibly not port their game to Game Pass and take that gamble regardless, and either, their game having major success or, flopping. And so I think that these are things that the consumers truthfully have to think about. We have all of these brands that are promising so much, and now we're seeing firsthand when it comes to PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, all of these brands aren't really offering what they should be in the year 2025. It is not 2012. It's not 20. It's not in 2008. Like, we're in a major transition when it comes to our technology and how the technology is being created, and just how we're innovating and using said technology. And so I do think that it is time for consumers to truthfully, stop chasing the brands and really start thinking about who's bringing the best power this next generation. I'm an Xbox fan. However, if obviously Sony isn't going to be left behind by their actions made in, most recent times with this job application. So I highly doubt that their next console isn't most likely going to be a PC hybrid. Xbox isn't just going to knock it out of the park and think that things are just going to be handy and dandy. PlayStation and Sony, they do have great titles, and if they are able to maximize those titles on a console that absolutely obliterates Microsoft, it then will turn the tables. I mean, who would care about Xbox Game Pass when essentially at that point Sony could just make something that kind of houses the same thing, while their players, possibly with what's hinted that they're working with Valve on their handheld, could possibly be playing those PlayStation titles with backwards compatibility natively, which is something that the ROG Ally Xbox doesn't have, and that is releasing very soon. So I do understand the excitement with everyone that does support Xbox very heavily. However, time is the most valuable thing. Yes, money is valuable. However, Sony has time on their side. Xbox is making all of these moves, and they have to make them correctly, or they will be criticized. And their the criticism will be more so of just a gain for Sony. They'll be able to use that, learn, and be able to port an even better product to the consumer base. So, my personal opinion is just stay on the lookout. I am really excited to see how these things shake up. Like, it is we're living in it. This is the revolution of the console wars. It is being more so, it's just being upgraded in different ways. Steam is ready to just collect the pot from both of these entities and watch them duke it out. So am I. And that's all that I have today, guys. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. I do have another No Rest for the Wicked video coming out. It's a review from the Q&A that was done with the CEO of Moonlight Studios and the creators. So I'm really excited to get that video out to you guys. Y'all have a great night. Stay safe, stay sound. Peace out.